This is a video on how to assemble your HEMNES TV unit. First thing I'm going to do is just pull everything out of the box and separate it out of both boxes. Here's the contents of the first box, and that's just the drawers and then the sides of the table too. So there's our parts bag, but each one of these makes a drawer. So that'll be the bottom, that's the front there, and that's the back. Those are the pieces with the slot cut in it that those slide into. And again, there's all our parts. So we'll just get started. Okay, here's step one. So we're gonna grab these ones here and then put our wooden dowels in it. That's what we're making here with this stuff. There's 3 drawers right there. All right, we're actually gonna go ahead and open up this box because the problem was this thing didn't come with the sides of the drawers, just the fronts, backs, and the bottom. So the sides of them are in here. Okay, there's the contents of both boxes. Got some sides. I got 3 of these pieces, 2 of those, a whole bunch of those. Those are the sides for our drawers, front and back, bottom, the rails. There's those, and then the top piece with the backing and the parts. All right, the very first step here is to get your 2 sides. Right, so this is what we're gonna do, is we're gonna put our wooden dowels in the sides of these 2. So we got the holes up here, and then we're gonna put the smaller wooden dowels out of bag number 1 in both sides of these right here on the hole sides. And they'll go down in there once you push them on there too. Now we're going to take our front piece here and flip it over. And so the crack is, this is going to be facing that way. And we're going to take these 2 and push them down on here. But the first thing we have to do is put some screws, some fasteners, and they're going to feed up into here. And so the thing you got to do here is just like this. We're going to screw those in there. And these are right out of bag 1 here. And it's these babies. And they're really kind of cool. So if you put lots of IKEA stuff together before, you'll know that those things work right hand in hand with these. And so you install these things just right down here. And you want that arrow facing your screw, because then when you turn it, they even have the arrow in there. When you turn it, it engages it and locks it in. It hooks the top of that. See how that is? So that's what we're gonna do here. We're gonna put these in there, and then on here we're going to thread these down. We're going to go to the outside, 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 and then slap these on there. Put 2 more on the other one here. Okay, so make sure you don't face these things inward, because then your holes here for your rails that you need to screw into are going to be there. You're not going to have any holes because that'll be facing outward. So these black screws like that, they're going to face out. So put them on like this. Okay, screws out. Critical, because you'll be taking it back apart or drilling holes, which they've already pre-drilled. This is the holes you want to make sure that you have facing out in here too. So now we'll go ahead and put this on here, and then we'll fasten in our top. Of course, that slot is going to go right here. We're just going to catch that there, and this is going to sit flush with the bottoms of these, and then we'll just hammer those in on those 2 holes right there on the side with our rubber mallet. Of course, before you put that top board on, make sure you lock these in too. Come off. Do the same thing with the other side. So we got 1 in. Okay, we got those in real good. Now we just flip it over so the bottom's showing like this, and we're going to grab our rails here. So the rails we're going to use, so these ones here are going to get fastened to the big part. These here go on the drawer, and they've already, again, pre-drilled the holes right there. So you just line your holes up top. So you want your wheel back here, facing the back here, just like this shows. See the wheels facing the back. So you just get it on here, and then I'm gonna slide that over. You want it on that back part, and then line up your holes right there and there. And the screws that we're gonna use are those babies right there. Okay, got the left side on. Now I'll do the same thing with the right. Over here, screw them in. Okay, now all we got left to do is just put this handle on this knob. This screw here is for the knob and your parts one bag. It's got really fine threads on it, and a Phillips head. It's just gonna go down in there like that. But you come in here and you take this from the inside, poke it through the hole, and then you can just thread this on there. Okay, so yeah, just repeat this process 2 more times. That drawer is ready to go. Rails on there, knobs on there, everything's tight. All right, we got all 3 drawers put together now. Okay, once you got your 3 drawers assembled, you grab your side pieces here, and you can see on the pieces themselves are labeled R and L. So put the right one on the right, left one on the left, as well as the rails. So you'll see right here, see that L? And then over here, you got an R. And we're gonna take the rails and put them on. And look at that, the holes line up just perfect. And then there's one right up here. These ones are gonna take 3 screws. The ones we did on the drawers took 2 apiece. So we'll go ahead and put, and it's those same rails, it's the same fasteners that we use for the drawers. These little guys here. So we're gonna put 3. 1, hole there, and then right there. Do the same thing for both sides. All right, got the left one in. Get this right one in here. Okay, this is the next step. This will allow us to get our big poles on there, those big pieces. So we're gonna put 4 of these in each one, in each side. There's 4. They're gonna go in the littlest hole right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Both of them. Four fasteners in each one. Okay, here's our next step. And you'll notice here, we're gonna install these. So the next step is to install this one. So you'll notice that you have 4 of them, but 3 of them look alike. So this one has no chamfer on it. And so this is the one we're gonna install. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick a wooden dowel in the bottom of it, right there. Okay, and then the other one, the other piece is the smaller one there, is gonna, that's what's gonna take the fastener. We're gonna set it in over the fastener right there. And then we'll put one of these little fasteners on there and pop it in. So we're gonna use the one on the right here, because this is showing that upper corner. You can see it's not the left, it's not the left side of the right one, it's the right side of the right piece, the one that we have on the right here. I'll go ahead and put that on. One of the important things to note is on this piece is you want these holes facing up. And then here, this is gonna go in the lower one. It's gonna go in there. And then this, come over here. See, this is, you know, you got the right one here because your fastener is gonna go up in there because that's what you need to screw that on. So now we'll go put this, we'll slap a fastener in there. Okay, and I will take it. Again, these holes are facing me. They're facing you, so we're gonna come over here to this right one. I'm slap it down in there. Yeah, and then we'll screw that in. Okay, now we're just going to install the rest of them. We're going to install these other three here, 1, 2, 3, and it's going to be the same thing. You install the wooden dowel on the opposite side of where the hole's at. So we're going to put the wooden dowel, 3 wooden dowels right in there. Now for these things, of course, narrow down. Okay, we got this in there now. So you're going, all right, well, which way do these things go? So this chamfer here is gonna face up. It's gonna face the other way. Go. And put the other two in the same way. And this chamfer here will be facing that way. Okay, my guess that this might be a spot where people are going to have questions because the directions are not super clear on that. Let me just show you what I did. So again, this is that first one we put in. Okay, no chamfer on it. Then this chamfer, let me come back around to where we were at. I guess the best way to explain it is if you got these 2 big holes, 1, 2, facing down on these bottom 2, then you're good to go. 1, 2, and then of course, this one's the oddball one, this upper right one. That one's not like the rest. And then this one here is different. The chamfer on this one, this upper left one, is facing down. So you can kind of see that. That way, when you're over here, you've got 2 of the finished sides facing out. Next step here is to make them all look like this. Fastener in there, and then wood plug in there. Okay, just like our directions show us here, we're going to take this top thing right here, flip it over and put it on top of this and fasten and secure it in there. Okay, I've set it on its top in preparation for the next step, but we're just going to take that and kind of set it aside, and then we're going to work with these pieces that we have left with some rails and these pieces here and those pieces there. So the next step, okay, we'll get some of these angled pieces out here and install the rails. Here's our next step. So you got the rails. Make sure both rails, these 2 steps are identical. You know, get that square in the corner up there facing the same way, that cut out the same way, and then these are going to go in the bottom set of holes. So there's like a middle set of holes, two in each. We're going to go 3 screws in here, and each one of these right. So they're identical. So we'll just go ahead and screw all 3 of those screws in their respective holes there. You can see it lines up perfect. All right, those are all screwed in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip both of these over. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use the left-handed rails, the ones with the L on them. These are our last 2 here. All right, exact same thing here. Now just note that the wheel is going to be on the same side as that corner cutout. If you feel on the other side, the wheel for the right side is right on the opposing side as that. Go ahead and screw these in now, just like this. That step's complete. Next thing we're going to do is stick, I'll show you here, just like this in this right hand corner. I'm going to stick a couple of wooden pegs in there, right in that hole, both of these. Okay, there's step 20. Now we're going to take these boards and slide them in there. We're going to kind of wedge them in there, just like they're showing there. And then that little peg is going to go in the hole there, right over there. Okay, the trick to getting this right is to get it facing the right way. So have this thing facing you upside down, so this is along the floor. That way that one in the back there is raised up. So that way you'll know that you'll get this right, because the square is going to face you. And then according to the directions here, you're going to leave a spacer hole to the right. So we're going to go into this one here. Just come through here. Slide that right down in there. Okay, like that. Okay, we've got that one in. And we're gonna stick some fasteners down through here eventually. So you wanna get it lined up with those holes right there. And then leave your blank one to the right. Same thing here, except on that one, we're gonna leave the blank one to the left. So I just come in here like this, square notch facing us, pop that baby in the hole and bring it up. And then this sits directly right under there. And we're gonna stick some fasteners in there next. Okay, 4 of these, 4 holes. I'm just gonna go right down in there. So now you got the hole, oops, kind of to the right there. Line that up. This one now. We're just gonna screw these babies on in. Just keep them snug. Trying to be real careful. You know, if you're using a power cordless drill like this, you can snap some of these fasteners, so just gotta be real gentle. Or you can set your cordless for a very light setting. There we go. Okay, we've got that step complete. Now we're gonna flip it so the top is facing us. Okay, now that we've got that baby turned towards us, we're gonna put 8 of these wooden plugs in here. So do not put all 4 of them in all 4 holes here, because, like I did, because you'll have to get some of these and slowly work them out. There's only 2 that go into each board. So I kind of tap on it with a mallet there too. All right, now these other 4 are gonna go, one of them's gonna go here, and then in the corners, go there. Not in that one, because that one's got a hole for a fastener. That's a surefire way to tell. Like, you know it's not gonna go in there because the fastener's gotta go in there. And then this one's gonna go in here. Sorry for the shaky camera. And then of course our other one's gonna go right here. 8 total. And if you want to just tap on a little bit with the mallet, light tap. Right, that step's complete. Now we're gonna get the big top flat board and hook 6 of these fasteners in there. Okay, 6 of those fasteners, I've got them shown here, right where they're gonna go. So I got 2 in the upper right and left hand corners, and then small hole, small hole, small hole in the middle. So you get 4 in the middle and 2 in the upper rights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 installed. Next step, we're gonna put these in, just like they show right there, in the upper right and left hand corners. 1 washer, 1 screw per bracket. Okay, I'm personally not gonna put those brackets on just yet. I'm gonna leave them off there. It's not too tall. I don't have little kids around right now, so it's not gonna flip over. But if you don't want it to flip over and you want to secure it to the wall, make sure you put those brackets in. So all we're gonna do now is take this and set it right on top of here, just as it sits right there. I'm gonna take the bottom and slide it down there, and then as the screws, we're gonna put some fasteners in those things there, and that way we can secure them just as it's showing right there. So you set the thing down on, you slide your round fasteners in there, and then secure it. Okay, I finally got that bottom part to attach to the top, and I have to admit that totally sucked. Trying to get 6 holes to line up all at the same time. And yeah, you can get it, but it's tough. Probably would help with 2 people. You get more eyes on trying to line up the holes with the pins, but yeah, I got it. And moving on. Next step is now to secure it in place with these things. So in all the holes in each of the boards there, and even on the corners, we're gonna slide these in there. So we got 6 of them that matches each 6 of our fasteners that we had installed in that top board. So we're just securing the top to the bottom there. I usually like to put these in before the fastener, but you don't necessarily need to. See up there, you can see. Pretty slick how these things do. That just goes around the head of that screw. Turn it and it secures it. So we're gonna install these again, arrow pointing down. And then we'll just give them a twist. Light twist with the cordless. Lock it in place. Okay, do the same thing with these other 4. Put one in the corner. Okay, got those fasteners all secured. Now we're gonna take these 4 screws and we're gonna install them right in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy step. Just like it shows you right there. Already got the first 3 in. This is the 4th and final screw here. Okay, next step, we're gonna use, we're gonna install this. We're gonna flip this thing over. So, there we go. That way this is facing us. And then, this is the back here. And then that's where that's gonna go. It's gonna go right across the bottom here. I'm actually gonna save this step for last, just to make sure I'm not royally goofed up here, because it's not really lining up right. And there's no holes for this, so I'm kind of scratching my head, to be honest with you. I know it shows this, and it kind of shows them clamping on there, but it also shows that there, and it shows that there, which is non-existent here. So that's throwing me off. Makes me think something's goofed up. But I think that I can put this on last, and if I need to, I'll just screw it in using those things. And so what I want to do is put these on, and then I'm going to flip it up and make sure the drawer's going okay, and then we'll put those on. All right, that's a good sign. These drawers going real good. So to get these in, right, you just kind of put that wheel past the existing wheel, angle it down a little bit. It's possible to get these things crooked, but there we go, nice and flush. So we'll put these other 2 in. Cool, I just verified all these are good to go. So I'm gonna pull those back out, and then we're gonna put those top boards in the top there. Okay, so then we're gonna take these, and these are just like pegs. These are just like cupboards, like kitchen cupboards or anything like that. And so these shelves these pop in there, and the shelves sit on that flat there. And so they've already got all the holes for us here. So it's just like this. Put all those in back here. Put them all in there. I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so that cup does not go up. It faces down. So if you have them in like that, that's wrong. Actually go in like this. Which is kind of interesting because they're kind of all facing up a little bit. They're all a little bent. So there we go. Now let's slide our board in on top of that. See which way those go. Oh, perfect. Okay, they made this easy. So there's the indents. That's where those pieces made up to. So we know that's gonna go down. As far as that bevel, let's try this first. See how that looks. Okay, it's not really lining up perfect. I think they're made to kind of snap in there a little bit. It kind of slides underneath there. It's supposed to make a nice fit. But we gotta get these. Okay, that's not really lining up, so gotta go in the other way, I think. All right, so it actually, the tang, I guess you call her the chamfer, goes underneath that board. And so I was expecting not to see any white there, but that's just the way it is. And then these things just fit up underneath there real nice. And that way it sits basically flush here. You can even kind of work these up into there. Okay, there we go. Hey, everything seemed to work out real good. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put that back piece on now. All right, so I just tilted it forward, and I think these things go like that. So it'll hold it on there. I'm guessing that's how they wanted it. So I'll just go ahead and install all those. I'll do a couple here, a couple here, a couple there. I'm just going like this, kind of putting it there, kind of lining it up with that. And then I'll screw that baby in there. All right, we got that baby on there. That's how I did that.